Okay, let's take a look at this shot. I want to apply a cross-process look to this shot. Let's start by balancing the shot. I'm going to come to gamma and increase gamma. Then I'm going to get the left down. And I'm going to add a new node and increase the saturation. Notice that the red door is attracting too much attention. So I'm going to reduce its saturation. I'm going to add a new node. I'm going to go to curves and choose hue versus saturation. I'm going to select red and bring the red saturation down. Notice the green in the background. I'm going to increase the saturation of green. Add a new node and increase the overall saturation. Again, the red is very saturated. I'm going to choose red again and decrease the saturation of red. And I'm going to increase the gamma one more time. Add a new node and increase the overall saturation. Okay, much better. Now I want to be able to control the color on her face separately from the rest of the image. So I'm going to create a window and track it to her face. I'm going to add a new node, create a window, and place the window. I need to feather the window, so I'll increase the softness. And now I'm going to track the window. Okay, now I'm going to need to track the rest of the image. So I will place the playhead here and start tracking backwards. Okay, let's take a look at the tracking. Notice that even when half of her face was hidden behind the window and out of focus, DaVinci was able to track it right. And now to control the rest of the image, I'm going to add an outside node. Now we have two nodes. This node here is controlling the color grade on her face, and this node is controlling the rest of the image. Let's come to this node first and reduce the gamma. Now, it's starting to show that there is a window on her face. The whole point here is to make the effect subtle. So I'm going to go back to this node and increase the feathering, the softness. Back to node 7 and getting the gamma down, not too much, and reducing the saturation. And back to the node that controls her face, increasing the gain, and adding saturation. And in order to see our image without the window, I'm going to come here and click None. So now her face is brighter than the rest of the image. Now let's add a new node. But if we added a node now, it's going to come after node 6. What we have to do is double click on node 7 and then add a new node. Now let's apply a cross-process look. Coming back to primaries and pushing the gain and lift in different directions. And I'm going to add a new node. In order to control shadow saturation, I'm going to come to Luma versus saturation and reduce the saturation in shadows. I'm going to reduce the saturation further. Come back here and try to push the blues more into shadows. And I'm going to come back to this node, go to log mode, and try to stylize the image through log mode. Again, we have to control the saturation, adding a new node, reducing the saturation in shadows, yeah, this looks much better. Now her face is still a bit red. Coming back to this node and pulling the red out through the offset. I'm just pulling the offset in the other direction towards blue. Okay, let's take a look at the original image. This one.